Hello and welcome back to the channel. My name is Tom Marshall. Thank you very much for watching. Please remember to like and subscribe. Today we have a lot to talk about. There's a lot of stuff that's going on in and around the world of Hollywood, big deals being made, but most importantly, the current state of affairs when it comes to creativity and the world of storytelling as we know it. Let's get into it. Lights, camera, deja vu. If you've been to the movies lately, you may feel that you've seen it all before. That's because you probably have. Hollywood is now obsessed with doing franchises, remakes, reboots, chasing nostalgia and box office guarantees. Has Hollywood lost the plot on plot? Story is everything, and people are starting to see through it. In this video, we'll break down why Hollywood has shifted focus from original story-driven films like Seven, Fight Club, instead of doubling down on familiar IP. We'll look at the business reasons, the cultural impact, and why audiences are starting to notice the cracks. Let's get into it. In 2024 and 2025 saw possibly the most amount of remakes, reboots, everywhere throughout it, every studio slate, it would appear. So in 2024, we had films like Mean Girls played in 2025, which hasn't happened yet. Final Destination, Bloodlines, 2025. Wolfman, 2025, so on and so on and so on. These aren't new ideas, these are recycled ones. And the reboot logic is, well, it allows filmmakers to reset the franchise, pretending the past sequels didn't exist. Think Batman in 2022, or The Rise of the Planet of the Apes. They're fresh coats of paint on old walls. The problem with this? Even when reboots succeed, they crowd out space for original films. Studios allocate budgets to safe bets, leaving little room for risky, story-driven projects. We had a few out there every now and then with films like Substance. Weapons was a really great film in 2025. Also, Sinners was great, but unfortunately they are few and far between. Films like Seven, Fight Club, The Usual Suspects, Memento in the early 90s weren't part of franchises. They were bold, standalone stories that trusted audiences to engage with complex characters and plots. Story versus spectacle. Today's blockbusters often prioritize world building over story building. Characters serve the franchise, not the narrative. Emotional depth is sacrificed for Easter eggs and sequel setups. And audiences are completely fatigued by all of it. Many viewers now complain of superhero fatigue, which has been a big thing recently considering the release of the latest Supergirl trailer, which has Crypto the dog peeing all over Superman in a newspaper article. And that just says it all. Movie viewers are now complaining of superhero fatigue or feeling stuck in a loop of recycled content. The thrill of discovering something new is fading, unfortunately so. And it has become a big talking point lately. There are a lot of economic pressures that come with this, and this is why Hollywood does it. Streaming wars, rising production costs, and global box office uncertainty push studios towards safer bets. A reboot of Snow White or Fantastic Four is less risky than funding an unknown script, but we all know how those films have turned out. So even now, those types of films aren't even safe bets anymore. You know, you'd think the big cast that these films have got, which generally tend to be the letdown of the films themselves, would be a safe bet, but no, even that is not a guarantee. Nostalgia sells. Unfortunately so. It reminds us of a time before, a simpler time. Audiences crave familiarity, especially in uncertain times. Studios exploit that craving, but at the cost of originality. One such case of nostalgia bait has to be the new Star Trek Starfleet Academy show, and I have thoughts. There's a trailer that's been released and it has everyone talking about it. In my eyes, the Starfleet Academy show is basically One Tree Hill in space. Star Trek used to be about boldly going where no one has gone before, but now it feels like boldly going where every CW show has already been. With the new Starfleet Academy series, Trek has shifted from commanding presence of Kirk, Picard, and Janeway into something that looks suspiciously like One Tree Hill. Just look at the comparisons of these two posters and you'll get what I mean. In this video, in this section of the video, we're going to explore how Starfleet Academy represents a drastic change in tone for the franchise, why it feels more like state TV melodrama than classic Star Trek, and what this says about Hollywood's obsession with reboots and youth-driven storytelling. Why do we love the original Star Trek? Because Star Trek had classic Trek captains. Kirk embodied swagger and frontier spirit. Picard was cerebral, diplomatic, and philosophical. Janeway balanced toughness with empathy, leading her crew through the Delta Quadrant. What they offered was something a lot more than their characters had on the surface. Each series was about ideas, morality, exploration, and a human condition, not just interpersonal drama. Contrast to what we see now, these shows were story-driven, often tackling political allegories, ethics, and science fiction concepts that challenged audiences. The premise of Starfleet Academy is set in the 32nd century. Starfleet Academy follows the first new class of cadets in over a century, training aboard the USS Athena. Holly Hunter plays Captain Nala Ake. Paul Giamatti plays the villain Nus Brackart. And the ensemble cast is a group of young cadets navigating friendships, rivalries, and first loves. The poster and trailers sparked debate because they looked more like teen drama than sci-fi epic. Cadets lying on a grassy field, blossoming romances, rivalries. It's a far cry from the gravitas of Next Generation. State TV vibe. The show feels it's designed for mass appeal and streaming audiences with serialized melodrama and relatable youth archetypes. It's less about exploration, more about interpersonal angst. This is not going to be a good show. There's a couple of clips that have been shown and been viral, and people are judging straight away that this is going to be already an absolute disaster of a show. I mean, I'll give it a chance. Don't get me wrong, it's Star Trek at the end of the day, but I'm not hopeful at all. It is essentially One Tree Hill in space. It's teen drama tropes, blossoming friendships, explosive rivalries, first loves, a villain tied to one cadet's past. This is essentially One Tree Hill or Riverdale, transplanted into Star Trek universe. Instead of debating the prime directive, cadets are debating who's dating who. While this may attract younger viewers, It risks alienating long-term Trek fans who expect philosophical depth and exploration of humanity's future. Star Trek has changed rather a lot in the past few years, from Kirk to Picard to Janeway, and it's all once again due to franchise fatigue. Paramount Plus has leaned heavily into the Trek spin offs Discovery, Picard, which the third season was actually quite good, Strange New Worlds. Starfleet Academy is the ninth live action Star Trek series. And why is it logical to do this? Well, youth focused dramas are cheaper to produce, easier to market, and fit the streaming model of serialized binge watching. And it is basically a cultural shift at the minute. Audiences are conditioned to expect character melodrama over cerebral storytelling. Trek is adapting to that demand, for better or worse. So yes, Star Trek has drastically changed. From Kirk's swagger, Picard's diplomacy, and Janeway's resilience, we've now arrived at Starfleet Academy, a show that looks more like One Tree Hill in space than a bold exploration of the unknown. Whether this evolution or dilution depends on what you want from Trek. Do you think Trek should embrace the teen drama vibe or return to its roots? Drop your thoughts below in the comments and in chat, and debate whether Hollywood has lost a plot or found an entirely new one. Thank you very much for watching. Shall see you in the next video.